Hi everyone, welcome back out to Harvest Hills Ranch. We're in the home gym again today, and I'm going to be sharing with you why it is important to come to your workout with a plan. Hey guys, I'm Dr. Arland Hill, and I have a passion for all things nutrition, health, and wellness related, and I enjoy sharing this information with you as I learn it and helping you achieve new levels in your overall health as well. Hey, again, today we're going to be talking about a plan, having a plan, and why that is so important to having a successful workout. You know, I always liken this to other aspects of life that we tend to think about as being overly important. So, for example, if you're a business owner, when you started your business, you had a plan. You had a set of logical steps that you were going to go through over a set period of time to be able to build your business to the level that you wanted it to be. Now, interestingly, we all know that with the execution of a plan, rarely does it go exactly as we anticipated, but we also know that if we don't have a plan, you guys know the old saying, if you don't have a plan, plan to fail. So, or if you fail to have a plan, plan to fail. So, and I think that's absolutely true when it comes to engaging in working out as well. So we want a specific plan because we understand, not just with working out, but from other aspects of our life as well, that when we set a plan, there is a logical stepwise process that we're going to go through to ultimately get to what the final objective is that we have. And of course, our workout, we have objectives that we want to hit there as well. Now, we also want to think about when we have a plan, and I'm going to show you guys exactly what a plan looks like. It's not very complicated at all. But when we have a plan, one of the things that does is it eliminates guessing. So if you've ever shown up to a gym and you tried to work out and you were going in there and you thought, okay, well, this machine is open, no one's using that, I'll go over and do that today. And then you look and you go, oh, well, this person, there's no one on that machine, let me go over and do that one today. That's a pretty haphazard approach. Maybe you're working out at home like we do, or maybe you just have some dumbbells, bands, whatever it is that you're using to work out at home. Same thing applies here. You need a plan going into that as well. We want to be specific here as well. We don't want to be thinking about what is it that I'm going to do once I'm engaged in that activity. We want to just be able to quickly reference something, know what the next exercise is going to be, or to what level we're going to do that exercise and what that sequence is going to look like. So it removes all of the guesswork that can become a limiting factor. And here's the other thing I want you to think about. Each time you're guessing, you're becoming less engaged in that activity. So for example, if I know what my sequence of exercises is going to be, I can go from one to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. I'm constantly engaged in the workout. Whereas if I have to stop and think about what's next, or if I have to look at what machine is available, or if I have to think about, well, what tool or what weight am I going to pick up next? Am I going to do dumbbells? Am I going to do bands? Am I going to do body weight? If you don't have all of that stuff planned out, you lost your momentum, and the further you go into that workout and the more momentum you're losing, the more efficiency you're losing in that workout, and you're not getting as much from that. So we want to remove the guesswork. We don't want to be guessing about things. We want to be specific here as well. And I'll show you an example of this here in a moment of why it is so important to be specific. And predominantly a reason for that comes to mind for me is that if you have an objective or have a goal, you should know the steps that it's going to take to get to that goal, or at least have a reasonable idea of what those steps are. You can refine them as you go along, but we want to be very specific in what our plan is going to look like. And when we do this, this is important because it creates a better utilization of our time. We become far more efficient. And you hear this concept of, I don't like working out because it takes too long, or we think, oh, I've got to go to the gym because this is where I need to go work out at, but I don't want to do that because I have to drive over there, I have to drive back, and I have to spend too much time in there. Part of the reason folks spend too much time in the gym is because they don't have an organized plan going into the gym. And again, if your gym is at home like ours is here, I have an organized plan. I don't want you wasting time at home either. If you want to be more efficient, develop a sequence, develop a plan going into your workout, and you'll find that these workouts that used to look long, and arduous, and you thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to be there for an hour doing that, all of a sudden you've cut that time in half, maybe even less. Actually, I'm going to show you as we go through this entire bigger process here that I'm working with you on. I'm going to show you how to drastically cut down your time investment here. But point being on this is that we want to be time efficient. We want to be specific in what we're doing. We don't want to waste time. And ultimately, what is this doing for us? Well, when we can track things over time, it allows us to go back and reflect. It allows us to look backwards to see what our starting point was, and so that we can see that upward trajectory of success. A lot of times when we've gotten a few months into our program, we start to think about, oh, maybe I wasn't able to do this today, or maybe I didn't lift this much today, or I didn't get this many reps, or I wasn't able to continue to do this activity for a set period of time. In that moment, it looks like it's a micro failure. It looks like you didn't meet your objective. However, again, those days are going to happen. We're not going to be at the pinnacle of our athletic success every single day, day in and day out. We're not going to be at our peak physical performance every day. But yet, when you go back and look and you compare that against a few months prior or where you started at, you see that, you know what, I have been making success. I am moving forward, and you want to acknowledge that, because that's what's going to, over time, keep you motivated. Now, everything that I've talked about with you can all be simply done. I've given you a bit of a longer explanation, but I don't want you to think that this process of coming to your workout with a plan is this long, drawn-out process. It's not, and it doesn't need to be. In fact, what I'm going to show you here is a training journal. This is actually my training journal. You can see it's nothing more than a spiral-bound notebook is all it is. But the reason that I wanted to share this with you and go through this process is that I want you to see that a lot of the things that I've discussed with you as far as being specific, having the plan, these are the things that I incorporate as well. And I feel like these are the things that have helped keep me on track. So you'll notice on that, when you look, you can see that with each line there's an exercise, there's a set, a rep, a weight associated with that. Yours is going to look different than this based on what you decide to implement as far as your exercise plan. But the point being on this is that I can literally go through this at the start of my workout, and I can just, as I'm continuing to go through, I'm checking things off. And each time I pick up this pen and I check off one of these items, that's another success. That's another thing that I was able to achieve. And remember, guys, as I've shared with you before, this is not always about simply the physical improvements that you're having. It's also about the mental improvements that you're having. Not to get off track here, but life weighs us down, right? So all the mental successes and achievements that we can have, all the better for us to stay on track with what our overall lifestyle objectives are. So here's what you do with this. I recommend, if you're going to work out in the morning, or if you're working out sometime mid-morning, I recommend the night before to take your journal, and it would be just as easy to do this electronically, maybe on your phone, but I think that there's something unique about actually taking a writing tool, a pen, a pencil, and writing that process down. It initially gets you engaged. And so if you just take a few minutes, write these out, put some thought into what you're actually writing out, then you're going to find that you have made your initial commitment. You actually took the time, nothing really physical at all here, this is all a mental exercise, but you took your time to write out this plan, and when you did that, at the end of that, now you've made a commitment. It's almost like signing a contract, if you will. When you take that pen and you sign that contract, you're committed to it. When you took the time to take this pen and write out this workout, you're committed to it. And it's very interesting how much easier the physical workout flows when you take the time to write this down. Again, this doesn't need to be arduous. Your workouts don't, if you're looking at that and thinking, oh, I can't do this or I can't do that, or, mine would be different. Yeah, it is going to be different. It needs to be unique to what your goals and your objectives are. So yours is going to look different than mine. It should look different than mine. You have your own unique needs that you're trying to accomplish. So with that in mind, The only thing you need to take away from this video is that you need a plan coming to a workout. And if you don't have a plan going to your workout, you're not going to maximize your investment in your time spent working out. No one wants that. I want to help you achieve getting the most out of your activity. And this is one of the first steps that you need to do to be able to do that. So with that being said, happy writing, happy journaling, and make sure that from time to time, you go back and look at what you have accomplished. Pat yourself on the back and look at where you started versus where you're at now. That's an important step in this process as well. It's not just about writing down the next workout all the time. So with that being said, guys, I appreciate you tuning in here today. I'm Dr. Arland Hill. I look forward to spending more time with you and continuing to bring you information on how to have more optimal workouts. And if you're looking for more information about what I do, make sure you go to drarlandhill.com. If you want to understand more about the role that food plays and what we do out here at the ranch to optimize the food that we produce, you can go to harvesthillsranch.com. Until next time, I'm Dr. Arland Hill. See you soon.